Okay, we are here, we are live. Let's see what this Group C game has for us. Cameroon versus Guinea, AFCON 2023. Tarabone. What they have for us in this game. Welcome everybody to the show. My name is George Mokwena. I'm the host of this here program, Overthinking Football. Overthinking football. I'm here. So let's see what this game has for us. Cameroon is going to be playing Guinea. Cameroon, of course, 46th in the world. Yeah, the guys, I don't know what it was, man. Whenever I look at the rankings, I tend to forget sometimes that some of these teams, they were so big in our heads back in the day when they were superpowers upon superpowers with Boeto, Rigo Besong, coach of Cameroon. And, in my head, they were top 20, maybe top 15 at some points during these long careers that we've watched them. And then now it's like you read Cameroon's 46, Ghana's number 61 in the world, and you're like, guys, what happened? Of course, they're 46 in the world and then 7 in Africa. Guinea, of course, is 80 in the world and then 15th in Africa. They are playing at the Stade Charles Ronan Bami Musankro Stadium. Hey, it's our keeper, man. How's that? How? Look up at the cheers. Levanta the cheers, some Cameroon. Why levanta the cheers, some Cameroon? Cameroon, of course, came third last tournament. They finished third, and they last won it. They last won it, Hauser, when a certain Belgian man, Belgian Ric Flair, a man who calls people Mourinho and people who think they know it all. He won it in 2017 with Cameroon. So they won in 2017, then they came third last time round. Guinea, of course, has been knocked out of the round of 16 for the last two tournaments. They've been knocked out last 16. Funny enough, they were knocked out last tournament. They were knocked out by other people who are in the group who played in the game versus Senegal, Gambia. They're the ones who knocked them out last time. So there's a bit of a grudge match there. I still think Cameroon and Senegal should comfortably get out of that group. And then Guinea and Gambia are going to be fighting for that best third place finishers of the tournament thing. Let's see. Hauser says AFCON is a platform to laugh at our enemies. Man. Are they an enemy? Pelatina, we haven't. An enemy of ours maybe should be Egypt because we knocked them out 2019. But other than that, we don't have enemies, Joe. Our enemies kill Lesotho. I love the background. One flag is enough for the two teams. It's gonna change, agent. It's gonna change. But now that you're telling me this, let me see. Yeah. I get one's gonna stand. The other one doesn't ever stand. The other one is looking the other way. So we're learning, guys. We're learning. 2 minutes in, it is 0-0. Senegal won 3-0 this afternoon. And if you're watching it anyway, there was a time where there was no broadcast. We were watching watch-alongs, guys. There was an SAPC watch-along. There was a Supersport watch-along. Coach Steve was taking us through different CAF license things. Zonal corner marking, man marking. Yeah. Man marking. All of those things. So I guess we're grateful for that.
And we even have transition and what. Sometimes I don't even understand what they're saying. They say, hey, these guys are talking serious stuff. Just win the game, guys.
Just win the game, guys. That's all you need to do. Let's see what's happening in the comments. BN was down. SABC Plus is 1 minute behind. Hey, Hauser, SABC Plus. What was that Shebiko SABC, Hauser? They fought so hard for the rights, only for you to watch it on SABC Plus. Talking them, but can't coach it. Listen, GT, listen. Coaching is nice, guys. Coaching is nice. They can tell us all about these tactics, but then when they get to their teams, hey, Gunzima, but I don't want to go there, man. I love Coach Steve. Coach Steve is one of my favorite coaches. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with him. So Senegal 1-3 now, which means that they top the group. Gambia will be last. And it was good to finally see a big team, a quote-unquote big team. They go AFCON, actually win a game. We saw what happened with Ghana. We saw Cape Verde giving them a good run for their money. We've seen a couple of teams, man, where we've said that they're big, but Bobo says, let me watch the game. We'll come back in halftime. Kerala says, why do we load shed during AFCON? Hey, Kere, you're not going to load shed tomorrow. However, tomorrow we're going to be watching Bafana at 10 p.m. We're one sleep closer to Hugo Bruce bringing the trophy back, bringing the glory back to South Africa. So I don't think we're going to be load shed at that time. But let's see, guys. Let's see how it's going to go. I just want to make sure that I'm audible everywhere. There's also the Instagram crowd watching, and also on YouTube, I have some people watching. So truly, we are a multi-platform show that shows on all of these things. The load shedding has feelings, can. Let's hope so. Let's hope that we're not gonna be load shed tomorrow when we are watching Bafana. Or if load shedding does happen, let it be to take us out of our misery. If scores can't it, guys, we must just all go to bed, I guess. That's what we need to do. Okay, so some of the stories around this game. Cameroon, Onana was on a very expensive private jet. He was on a private jet last night because he played for Manchester United yesterday. And there were rumors, long-running rumors, that the plan was that Rigobert Song was going to play him in this game after he played yesterday, which is going to be nuts. I don't think I've ever seen anything like it. Goalkeeper plays on one side and then flies in to come play for his country. Maybe South Africans on the live, we should be looking at Lyle Foster and saying, my guy, bought the private jet. So yeah, we're going to see that. Naby Keita is actually on the bench. Naby Keita is one of the stars here. He finds himself on the bench. I don't know what it is about these teams because Ivory Coast did a similar thing where Pepe, Aurier, all of those guys that we know, not necessarily the good that we know, started out on the bench. Here we go. First free kick in. Oh, headed over. Just over. Ball in by Moriba. How are you doing, Wisdom? How are you doing, Wisdom? Guys, if you have not followed, please follow. We're going to be watching along and hoping that this match has fireworks. Pella, we watched the opening game, and the opening game was so slow and so poor that you were like, man, is this what AFCON is all about? So let's hope that these games coming up now, they've watched the other people go. You know how in school they make you do your speeches. Whoever went first got a little bit of a mark because nerves and all of that stuff. Maybe that's how it is at AFCON. But games have been better after that game. No, they have been better. They have been better. I like that everybody's equal. But I was saying earlier when I started the show, hey man, Africa is so funny, man. Ghana number 61, guys. Number 61 in the world. And yeah, you could see that they're number 61 the way they played yesterday. But you know what? Let me take my own advice.
Just do it nice. Just be a gentleman.
Yeah, I'm gonna be a gentleman from now on. So yeah, it's interesting, man. Cameroon number 46. To think Ghana's only 6 places away from South Africa? That is crazy. In terms of the teams, Cameroon, most of the Cameroon players actually play in France. It's mostly France and Turkey represented in the starting lineup. Le NFT yaka kwa guys, the Mvela of France is represented here, but as asikho lapho. Goalkeeper on door right now plays in the NFT of France. Imvela, Glad Africa. So let's see how this goes. Do we still believe that these guys are better, guys? Do we still believe that all of these countries are better than us, guys? Like, honestly, deep down in your heart, do you believe that? Anyway, guys, I can't show you the game because of copyright issues. For those who constantly ask me, copyright is the problem. Oh, shot! Listen, Guinea's out for blood, guys. Guinea is out for blood. They've already headed over once. There goes the press. Now it's not 1-0. Rosa, you're about to get the tears. You're about to get the tears you were talking about. You're about to get the tears you were talking about. The Africa. Ay, Safani. Ay, Safani, guys. Wow. Is Abubakar on the bench? Because I think whatever injury he has, I'd rather take a 50% Abubakar than to take 100% whatever is happening here so that they can salvage this game. And what's been crazy about AFCON this year is that all of the teams seem to score very early. Very, very early. I mean, we're 10 minutes in. We've seen goals as early as 2 minutes, 3 minutes already in this tournament. So we're seeing early goals. They can't sustain it. And I suspect that part of the problem is that it's so humid and hot there. What were they doing? You know when they say clear the ball? Just clear the ball and live your life. You don't need to turn in the box. You don't need to turn in the box. Clear the ball. Look, they got in each other's ways even. Nah, guys. Nah. Kemen and Cham. Tove is the better center back, it seems. He has been ruled out of AFCON as a whole. Oh, I thought he was still available and that they were still assessing him. Heaven. GT says Bafana has to win these. Win then cause I never. GT, you know your team. You know your team. Your team, when they play against lower teams, they go to lower teams. They play to the lower teams. Anyway, goal by Guinea. Cameroon failed to clear their lines. Tried to play it. The press, sort of a press, got to the defender, and it was pretty much a tap in. He still had a lot to do to finish, but put it through the keeper's legs, and now Guinea is leading Cameroon 1-0. Yeah, I wonder what Samuel Eto'o is saying right here. And Tuli says, radio ya. How's that? You're getting your thing. Radio ya. Look, guys, for Cameroon right now.
Ziyakhala and ziku loudspeaker and I couldn't do it off. I don't couldn't do it off. Ziyakhala very much.
There's been something off with
Ziyakhala very much.
There's been something off with all of the big teams this year. Okay, let's see. Have been thinking, is it that South Africa is not exporting enough talent? Or is it because Western African teams are better? Because some of these African teams, their players are born abroad. Also, he's saying that they're importing them. Changing nationalities, approaching 17-year-olds. Is that what we're saying? Oh, Cameroon! That was the chance. Free kick on the right-hand side. They couldn't finish it. Anguissa, who plays for Napoli, just couldn't get enough on that ball. Well, he headed it, but then he just couldn't put it on target. So it looks like it's going to be back-to-back. Let's hope that we're going to see a big game. Because usually, man, you know how it is. You watch a game, it's two teams. There's a bigger one and a lesser one. And usually, if the lesser one scores, you see a game. If the big one scores, you might just see something going crazy. But to Agent's point, I think something is happening in football, especially African football. We're not exporting enough players, and I'm not sure what it is. I'm not sure what it is. If you look at some of the teams that are at this tournament, you can tell that it's older gents. Like it's Andre Ayew is going to be Andre Ayew. If he scores in this, he's going to become, he's going to have the record of scoring at least one goal in 7 tournaments. And then he's also 2 matches away. So if he finishes the group stages, he actually takes over the record of Rigobert Song, where he will be the most capped player. So it tells me that maybe we're having a tough time moving on from the old gents, And it's something we discussed in the group. Remember, we had a conversation in the group, and it was brought up by you, actually, Agent, about how a lot of African teams, their superpower is being able to put together one team for a very, very long time. But what happens when the very, very long time is done? What happens? Look at this Cameroon team. Last 5 games, 2 draws, 1 win, 2 losses. Guinea's actually got 3 wins in their last 5 games. I know sometimes everybody says form doesn't matter, but maybe we should start looking at these teams as they are from previous form, man. This Guinea team beat Nigeria 2-0, lost to Botswana, beat Uganda, drew with Gabon, and then beat Guinea-Bissau. Cameroon drew with Zambia, drew with Libya, beat Mauritius 3-0, lost to Senegal and Russia in their last 5 games. Does that count? Does that momentum maybe count? Hey, Hauser. This AFCON is for the underdogs. Yes, they're importing. I saw the goal there. Wow, Tuli, why are you watching the game, my guy? Don't tell me you're also an SABC Plus. Akira SA doesn't want to sign Cirino. Why are we taking Cirino? Or is it because the gap between small and big teams has reduced? I think on that question, has the gap reduced because the quality has in general gone up, or has the gap reduced because the quality is going down? I guess that's the best way to look at that question. Okay, so let's look at the setup, man. There hasn't been too much super tactical stuff from the onset here. It looks like both teams are going to be trying to look a little bit aerially. None of them have actually played like a ball through the lines down the middle. So it's going to be one of those games, man. I've gone in sloppy games. It's scrappy. Oh. Suga nje, number 7. Guilavogi. Is he injured or what? Oh, he got back up. Oh. Yeah, you score 1 goal, then you start wasting time from 16th minute. Pega says, OT, I had a dream that Bafana won AFCON. Anything is fun. I mustn't pupile. Maybe Inyoga Sundowns. That's
I'm being playful.
Maybe we must all come together. Maweni, Sundowns, whatever they're using at Sundowns, not what they're using at Chiefs, not at all. We must come together and bless Bafana, man. Maybe that's what needs to happen. But let's see. It's possible. It's possible, but to keep dreaming. Serena hasn't played for Uruguay and he got South African citizenship. But do we want him? How old is Sereno? Wait, let me see. How old is Sereno? Hey, these guys are hard tackling, eh? AFCON. Sereno is Leandro Gaston Sereno Rodriguez. He's 32. Guys, we've got enough mid-30s. Got enough 30s players, man. Can we please not bring more in? I've been saying we'll win it. Don't let the haters say you're dreaming. Agent says Bafana is going to win. Okay, guys. Is it the head or is it the heart? But you're having a nightmare. AFCON is scrappy. We just need some luck. Egypt and Nigeria struggled. Our only threat. I beg. Who's our? Our threat. If anything, if we're going to win it, we're a dark horse. The darkest of horses. Free kick to Cameroon, who they had one promising move, and then it seems like they've also calmed down, and they are chasing this game. Where's Onana? Onana landed today, man. And Rigobert was like, relax, boy. He's probably in the stands right now, VIP suite type things. How do we feel about that, guys? How do we feel about that thing where African players don't seem to want to play for their teams? Now, on the one hand, if we look at the pros, or let's look at the pros and the cons from their end. Not playing for your country, you obviously don't lose your space in your European team. Apparently, Onana had said that he's afraid Guti, his space is not going to be there when he gets back from AFCON. You know how a lot of European teams complain that their biggest stars go missing for a month to go play for their countries and they look down on it, right? So you get to play, you get to keep up, I guess, the level because AFCON is looked down upon. You get to keep that level up. But the cons, man, the cons, our countries are missing out on a lot of really good players. Lyle Foster is a great player who is currently playing for Burnley and not playing for Bafana Bafana, for example. Now we have to go with this guy. And would you be open as a national team to bring in a player the way Onana came in? He played yesterday, then he flies in. Would you be willing to bring in a player like that into your team, risk chemistry and all those things, but está. AFCO, where's another? We're going to the finals. Alejandro, it's hard out there, very unpredictable AFCON. Hence I say, Cote d'Ivoire, they did the business of the day, says Ulungisani. If we win this AFCON, you all won't hear the end of it. You won't hear the end of it from me too. I'm trying to act here, Kare. I'm not a Bafana supporter. Every day I will be here discussing Chiefs and I will be there rubbing it in your faces. Oh, you mean it from that point of view. Hey, listen, agent, listen. When it comes to the national team, we are not the gold and the black of Kaizer Chiefs. We are not the black and white of Pirates. We are not the Brazilians yellow and blue. We're not Super Sports blue and white. We are one Bafana. So a win for Bafana is a win for all of us, not a win for Sundowns. But I think it shows they're only doing this for money. We have this mentality equals no respect. Yeah, I guess. But that's why I say that if you also look at it at the player's side, the player's point of view, if you've just broken into the team, and maybe let me be devil's advocate for Lyle Foster. Lyle Foster had his mental health issues, and he had been out for a little bit. And I'd imagine in that time, one of his fears would be that I'd lose my spot in the squad. So maybe even if he's not ready to play currently, because of that fear of losing your place in the squad, you're going to go, yes, then guys, let me put Bafana on the side and go play that side. You know, Onana has made it blatantly obvious with that type of stuff. So I kind of understand it, especially because how awkward the AFCON tournament is in terms of the date in comparison to Europe. Not that we should change it to match Europe, but that's where we sit with that. So I don't know, man. And money at the end of the day, is it, man? You'll sit in a situation where you're a Bafana player who's been told that, hey, the cup winnings have been raised by 7 million. If you win it, you win it all. So maybe also losing out on that money is an issue. Who knows, guys? Who knows? I certainly miss them because you'd want to see the top quality that Africa has to offer at these tournaments. You know, even if the top quality, man, doesn't look like top quality when you're watching them here. But anyway, we're not there. Let's see. Why don't we move our 2020 tournament though to a suitable date, because we even stopped our leagues. Yeah, it's the Africa debate, man. Africa versus Europe debate. One of the people brought up the point that the other issue is that our weathers don't align and we can't be breaking per se for Europeans who don't necessarily care about the tournament. Some might say that it's a good test for players, where you ask the players, guys, would you rather go to play for your team that has bought you and signed you and transferred you, or play for your country of birth? There's all those questions, but I'm not gonna lie, for those who are playing in Europe, it is a bit of an issue, man. Shem, it is a bit of an issue. Let's see. This decision was influenced by Eto. What if he comes on and costs the whole team? Asaz. No, I mean, on random topics, I will be there because you all have been on Bruce's case. Oh, Oti, wish I wasn't. I know, Sisonke, go to your assignments, my brother. Go to your assignments. No stress. But viewership and sponsorship wise, would you risk playing Euros with AFCON same time? That is a very good point, actually. That is also a very good point. Would I risk it? Do we watch as Africans the Euros as intently? Like, I understand Champions League and things like that, but are we watching things like the Nations League and the Euros so intently that maybe it would hurt us? I'm not too sure that we are. And I get you're going for African viewership more than anything else. I don't know what the numbers are for CAF in terms of international viewership. Maybe it's something I'll just need to research and get back to you on so that we can have a better picture of it. But I don't know if they clash with each other. For one thing, I think the clubs would be very happy that it's fine. Everybody's out on international duty. I think they'd be very happy, So yeah, it's an interesting point you bring up there. Watches the Euros. I just want to says the GT. That's why I'm asking. I don't necessarily pay too much focus to the Euros up until the knockouts, to be honest with you. But then let's see. Bega says, I just want our players to put their nation first. Home will always be home. They must not forget. Mara, is home paying you £200,000 a week? 100,000 pounds a week? Is home able to provide that? A lot of those players ran away from home because home can't give them the lives that they live that side. So is it unfair for us to expect them to give up essentially their paychecks for this? I don't know. We'll surprise a lot in the competition, says the agent says this familiarity. We are more familiar with those players. Like, I'm sure I can name the Portugal squad. That's true. More than 2 teams playing now. No, that's true. But I don't know that I watch it. Agent, honestly, do you know what? I still feel as though the problem with Africa is that we don't know how to do the soft skills. We don't know. So SABC announces, SuperSport announces. How many times have you seen Sadio Mane raising the trophy? How many times? How many times have you seen Mohamed Salah being sad and looking all droopy? How many storylines have been promoted for this, right? How many storylines have come out from our broadcasters, from CAF? Salah, and the last time Egypt won was in 2010. Salah came into the final last year. They've been knocked out in the past 3 years. Sadio Mane is going to want to come and defend his title. Victor Osimhen, Napoli's super striker, one of the most informed strikers in Europe, is coming to play. How many of those things have you seen? The softer skills. Whereas I think when you talk about Portugal and those European countries, we know the storylines. Is this Ronaldo's last year? Can this Portuguese team give him the sign-off he deserves in his fight versus Messi? It's those type of things. I always say that I use the example of my team Arsenal. I know, agent, every single one of Henry's goals. I can picture them, all 272 of them. I even know the number of them. How many of the players do we even know and market here? that are not the ones that are playing that side that we know by association. These are the things that I think is holding African football back. These are the things, it's all well and good to show the tournament, but then when this tournament ends, you will not see anything to do with AFCON up until the next AFCON. How do you get excited? Actually, it's going to be on the week of, the week that AFCON is starting. That's when they're going to come out and start AFCONing. Back to the game quickly. It seems like both teams to a degree are trying to go wide. And I don't know, I haven't seen anything from there because in as much as they try to overload, the other team just replies with more players on the wings. Like if you look at there, you've got 5-6 players on the one side and nobody on this side. So they're looking for that magic pass. The more I watch this AFCON, and I'm going to be honest with you, Agent, and everybody, Pega, and everybody that's been speaking for Bafana, the more I watch this tournament, the more I'm like, aye, man, Bafana could do something here, man. These teams are not as strong as I thought. Anyway, let's carry on. Not to give up a paycheck, but don't they want to see South Africa succeeding? True, but let's see, would you give it up? You can suffer mental health. Just think about Dr. Kumalo in their time. Guys, that's why I saw an interview. Funny enough, I saw an interview where he said, hey man, I was crying every day. And he's like, I was probably depressed all through my career and I didn't know what it was. So I think it's a good thing that we are doing this. My only problem with Lyle Foster's situation is, okay, you've suffered the mental health stuff. You took some time off from Burnley. Mutu's playing 4 or 5 games in a row for Burnley and won't come home, and he's trying to make it seem as though it's the mental health stuff. That's why I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't know. Like Tembazoni's last dance. That's a European story being told in Africa. No, but I'm just saying, guys, all of these things, how do you make African football exciting? Gigi, I want you to think about your excitement for European football. How much of it is storylines and how much of it is the actual football? Just think about it. Oh, Pep's assistant, genius, young coach is taking over Arsenal to take them into the future. Mr. Non-negotiables. Yeah, what? Yeah? Jurgen Klopp, rock and roll football, is bringing rock and roll football into England. How many Dortmund games have you watched when we're being honest to be so excited? Yeah, Mourinho, win at all costs, special one. All of that stuff. Hey, Real Madrid is going for I don't know what 14 is in Spanish. Is it 13 or 14? I don't know what that is in Spanish. But they're going for that one. Can they do it with this young squad? Jude Bellingham, England's next hope. Bukayo Saka. It's storylines. But then I want you to think about, just in general, when you're consuming African and South African, for example, South African football, what storylines are they? Outside of Rulani saying something and it goes nuts. Rulani trying to win everything. Jose at the top end, there's a lot of story. The top end, there's some storylines. But then at the bottom end, for the day-to-day, your De Zerbi level stuff, there isn't enough, I think. The excitement doesn't come from the games, I don't believe. Or will it be Inter-Club Player of the Year to lead his team? Is Project Song working, Mara? I don't know. Well, okay, I'm going to be fair to him. AFCON 2021, like I said, they finished third. So, I guess. But, 46 in the world. They haven't been very strong in the past few games. I believe Peter Shalulile was able to put them away. Namibia was able to draw with them or beat them 3-2. I can't remember. But it's not looking like this is a strong team, eh? It's not looking like this is a strong team. Even now, can somebody tell me what we've been watching over the past few minutes in terms of how is Cameroon meant to score in this game? I find myself asking PSL questions, and that's where I'm like, yo. How is Cameroon meant to score here? I stand by the words, Bafana winning AFCON, no one can stop us. Clara says, rugby taught us it's how much you put the product in people's faces. Make it impossible not to know. Exactly. Bafana is playing tomorrow, guys. Come show respect to the teams playing. Hi, guys. We're just having chats, man. We're just having chats. On the real, how does one differentiate between perseverance and mental health? Hey, but mental health is a real thing. It's a real thing, especially in this day and age. It's a real thing. Players have to understand Sonky Spansia Stressana. If you choose to play football, be ready for that. More talk in Europe, they're selling their football storylines. Yeah, straight up storylines. Does the AFCON scream Africa? Funny enough, it screams France. For some odd reason. Correct me if I'm wrong, Malumekuts, but for me, it screams France. It screams, it almost feels like it's a favor tournament. Like it feels like it's not necessarily ours like that. It's almost like you have the privilege to watch this thing, Mara. I see how, you know? I just don't see how they plan to score the equalizer. That's why I'm asking, Guti. I don't see. Maybe it's part of Malume Kutso's question of is Rigobert Song's project, is Project Rigobert Song working? Hey, what a defender that man was. Oh, what a defender that man was. Does the PSL train our players to avoid this mental health and pressure? Ooh, that's a good question. I actually don't know. I actually do not know. Yeah, something I think we should research. I'll research it and see if I can't connect with some people who can help us there, but I'm not sure. I don't want to lie. So Chan is better than AFCON. Not necessarily. It's not the feel of the tournament. Even Chan, like African tournaments and African competition, it feels as though it's not made for you. For example, I understand that a lot of the countries up north and to the west use French as a language of their main language, right? But then you can't be CAF online on TikTok, and then you have a pre-match show or opening ceremony show, and it's in all French. You know what I mean? Like, what are we trying to do? You look at the CAF Champions League, right? The Champions League stuff doesn't reach us. If not for Mamelodi Sundowns, we wouldn't know about the CAF Champions League. Now, we only watch it or have access to it when we hit quarterfinals type of thing. You know, so it's like, for me, that's where I'm like, it doesn't feel like it's a tournament that is African. You get me? It feels like it's a tournament that happens that, hey, I guess you guys are allowed to watch. Shem. Don't come too far. Just stay right there, type of thing. You know, let's see. If Bafana makes the final, can you watch the match live with your followers in person? That could be done if you guys can get to Pretoria. But that's a fine idea. We could actually do it. I don't mind. They must walk out with lions before the game. Or something, man, Malume Kutso. But it's not even about that, man. It's about the fantastical world that is created outside of the football. That's my thing. Like, the conversations, you know, that Europeans have about football, that Americans have about their sports. It's very little to do with the results and things like that. Kiritori, man. Harinaritori. There's nothing to grab onto. To be honest with you, you know. GT, not all teams. Remember, they said it was done by the Golden Arrows coach. He doesn't need one. Has the curse of Bafana been lifted? Do we have proof that we are free? I don't know. Decision making. You had two people, but let's see. You had two people to your left. You had two people to your left. But you guys are being unfair. The same way we're speaking English, it's just the same. No. But agent, what I'm saying is, I'm not saying that French should not be the language. I'm saying that maybe create a CAF online French and a CAF online English, for example, and then make sure that it's accessible all over the place. Or bring in other people. So go to the other countries. Maybe you bring in a Babam Tetwa on contract for one of these tournaments, since I believe, I don't know if she's on, but you bring in a Babam Tetwa, you bring in other people, you bring in all these people. And, ow! Just come down, sitting next to Samuel Eto'o, Deputy Chairperson of the African Clubs Association, next to the President of the Cameroon FA. Look at how angry he looks, man. Look at how angry he looks. Former players, I'm sure they have the toughest time when they're sitting there and they go, I'm Samuel Eto'o. What are these guys doing? Anyway, make it accessible. Make it accessible. You know, that's what I think is missing from a lot of African things. It was so nice, for example, to watch the CAF Champions League, Women's CAF Champions League. Obviously, there was no commentary there, but it was so nice to watch because it was accessible. Now, I want to watch the opening thing. There's not a subtitle anywhere. There's not an anywhere thing anywhere that is going to go, yeah, agent, please come in. Maybe not even English, any other languages. I don't know. But it can't be that, again, those things are centered that side. You know, all of the offices happen to be, north of the equator. All of the big offices are north of the equator. So why should me as a South African, why should I care about CAF stuff? What's making CAF stuff accessible for me? And obviously, I'm a super sport and those guys have their role to play. But CAF and those people in general, you know? If Sundowns doesn't make it past the group stages, is it still accessible enough for me to watch? It's those type of things, man. Lungisani says, honestly, I'm disappointed by the display of football at the AFCON. There's no effort, man. Like I can't even really break down the game proper here because it feels like it's two teams who are trying to play wide football. Cool, great. But it's almost like exactly like the Ivory Coast game where they cross the halfway line or they get into the byline side and they make the wrong decisions. So you're like, I don't know what the quality is, man. And you guys have been telling me that these guys play France and Serbia and all these European countries. Honestly speaking, some of the PSL games look equal to this. But yeah, let me not go there. It's common that side, and Kunis alcohol problem. Decision making. CAF doesn't care about the rest of the continent. There's more to Africa than just Western Africa. She's the chief's person, says Rato. Yes. No, all of them. Check. Agent, that's the point of it. That's the point. Like, honestly speaking, I don't want to be odd, but if I'm the mother body of a continent, I have to make sure that we can cater for the continent. You get what I mean? That's why I'm like, it's not just popular. It can't be, we say it's popular that side. CAF is meant to be for all of Africa, Ger. That's the confederation, the confederation, the African football or something like that. CAF, it's for everyone. So if you're not making it accessible in the lower regions, south of Africa, why must South of Africa care about all of the things that are happening in North of Africa when North of Africa is getting almost all of the things, right? And I know the language thing it's a very small thing, but it's a very big thing that seems small. But if I can't watch, for example, I put on the opening ceremony and people are speaking in French only, or the pre-game shows, or the stuff before the award shows and things like that. if I put it on and it's all French, Joe, as somebody who might be wanting to consume the product, I might just go, hey man, like if I came out here and I spoke Afrikaans, full on Afrikaans, obviously English because a lot of us speak English, but it's like you have to accommodate, you know, and I feel like CAF doesn't accommodate countries further south, you know, even in things that we hear about all the time, CAF Champions League, traveling, CAF Champions League, this, the what, okay, it's just a lot. But anyway, just wearing Chiefs colors, shame, she's trying you lot. I'm sad, man. Clara, I asked this in the group. If Jess is in Ivory Coast, man. To make sure that nothing's happening, guys. Yeah? Do we even know that the geezer's on and the stove was left on with Jessica out the country? I'm worried, man. I'm worried. Pan Africa is the first time they wanted the meeting to be at France, but Asiko Lapo says shiga. The truth is, their players holding it back. They don't want to get injured. But Cameroon's number 11 is trying to play, but hey, looks like he's alone. Bayo, not Bayo. Nkulu, who plays in Saudi Arabia. Imagine what guys whose teams refuse to let them go overseas look like. Even the crosses they keep putting in the box, they're too high, and he positions them well. Yeah. Let's be honest, man. This hasn't been a tactical game. Hasn't been a tactical game. Because I'm even watching Cameroon's fire. I think when you look at, when they briefly showed Samuel Eto'o there, and he's busy gesturing, and you can see that he's a little bit frustrated. That's what you want to see on the pitch, you know. And I don't know that Cameroon has come out and shown the guns blazing, but everybody has said that temperatures that side are not friendly. So maybe it's that. We can chalk it up to that. But I really do hope, man, the standard just gets better, man. Maybe it'll get better when there's more at stake. Like, Cameroon can probably lose this game, but now when they go into the second game and there's a little bit of more pressure, maybe we'll see a little bit better football. I'm khata vel. That's true. That's true. Maybe AFCON will start from the knockout stages. I'm in support of the statement that Bafana has a chance. Says Umtituzi. Agent, huh? More people are joining your movement. More people are joining your movement. Oh yeah, knockout stage, Brady. Yeah, knockout stage. Let me see. I actually haven't checked the other comments, if there are comments coming from that side. Rogan says you must be positive on Bafana and support them without judging them, says Rogan Koza on YouTube. Toozisi says it's not negativity, it's called realism. Look, this is what I'll say. If this is the level that AFCON is playing at, Bafana has a very big chance. I think also, from my point of view, if I'm being 100% honest, I was being a little bit biased, and I probably still am being a little bit biased in that, you know, you read the other countries and you look at all of the stuff and you go, geez, man, how are we meant to compete with these guys, right? And then it's a conversation, agent. Funny enough, I'm an agent. We had this conversation when you're bringing up the names. Actually, you're bringing up the names of the different teams that these guys play for in Europe, and apparently we weren't meant to compete. Now you're saying that we're going to be, red card Guinea. Oh, from a reckless, very reckless thing. Very reckless thing. Captain. Hey, the cameraman zoomed in so far. That looked almost romantic, man. But yeah, maybe I'm being biased. I was being biased by saying that. And maybe it is unfair on Bafana Bafana. But when you look at the quality that we've seen here, yeah, Bafana Bafana 100% stands a chance. They 100% stand a chance then to do something at this tournament if this is the level. My worry is that something is great at group stages. In the knockout stages, get a big dog. In the knockout stages, you're looking at Sadio Mane, who's able to finish a game, or who might be able to step up when you need him. Abu Mohamed Salah, who might be able to step up when you need them. You know, I don't know that we have those type of players at Bafana Bafana where if a game is stalemated, who do you look to break the stalemate between the two teams? I don't know if we have a standout star. But let's see how Bafana plays. Let's see how Bafana plays. Guinea losing composure. Sinja says I must stop drinking the water. Okay, I'll stop drinking the water. But Bafana hasn't played even a game, guys. Oh, we can't say they have a chance because that's also true. Lungisani, you guys are correct. Let's see how they play tomorrow. And in the group stages, to be fair, they've got 3 games that they play no matter what. Let's give them the grace and see what happens there. Brady says Mahopa will be our top goal scorer. Don't misquote me. My point is Sundown's block and chemistry of the boys. Agent. I didn't misquote you. I remember saying that, are we that far away from these people? Got Sundowns. Remember we had this conversation. I was like, for me, is Sundowns that far off of Serbia? Or like, Russia or these both Cyprus? Are they that far off? But Romania. But Cameroon will come back, says, Andy. Okay, we're waiting for halftime. Let's see what halftime has for us. As usual, I'm going to let in 4 guys, 4 people over here on TikTok. You have to be following me in order to request. I'm going to let in 4 or 5 people. We're going to have a very quick discussion during halftime. Then at the end of the game, I'll let everybody in and everybody will get 2-3 minutes to go through their thoughts of this. Pega says, if we can play our football, we'll be fine. We won in 96 because they can't handle Kasitiski. Do we play Kasitiski, guys? But it's fine. This time we don't want to calculate, says Brady. Okay, there we go. It's half time. Feel free to request, guys. Feel free to request. There's no preference. It's all first come, first serve because of the time constraints. So let's see. Remember that you have to be following me in order to jump in. Let me just change my graphics because I know Agent wants to come in and deal with me. I know. Okay, halftime. Let's see. Okay. Gigi says, honestly, I'm not watching the game. Okay. Agent, my brother, welcome to the show. How are you?
I'm good, man. I'm good. You know, I'm a nice person, eh? I'm a nice
You're a
person.
nice
I'm not.
person.
If I was come out to say, "Aye, man, we're not a bad team, man." Why is that every time we do a watch along, the games are not it?
You're saying it's me? It's not
Yeah,
me.
it's you,
It's
man.
not
It's
me.
you.
It's not me.
No watch along. 3 good games. You do watch along. We have a horrible game, but it's fine. And before I go, before I go to the game, when are we gonna have our star, man, on the bench, man? Eh? Other kids look nice with stars. Hey, we want our 96 star also. Hey, if Tigers could have that star, hey, why can't we have our star, even though it's old age star and the rusty? But it's fine. To the game.
Hey, Mara. Anyway,
I think Guinea started well. They played well. They were quick on the transition. They imposed themselves. And then they scored. Then they took the foot off the pedal. I think that's where the game started to become boring now because it was no longer end-to-end stuff. They just sat back and defended. You know. So I think now it's gonna come to bite them again, because now if you're on the ascendancy, you have to keep the pressure on so that you score 1, 2, 3 goals. Now you're leading with 1 goal and 1 man down. So I don't know, and they started to waste time even. So I don't know. I'm not impressed, but Obayo was playing well, good player. And there was the number 21.
Number
The
21
fullback.
Sila.
Wow. Yeah, that one. Good player also. I like his developing runs. And then into Cameroon, I think Abuti Kuta summarized it well and said, is this project song still on? And because I think I see nothing, I see no combination, I see nothing here. And this is the same Cameroon that the much hated Hugo Bruce that Sinjol talk about won with. That is fine. You're not there. You're not there. You're not there. You're not there. You're
6
not
years
there.
ago.
Yeah, but we're not there. But I think with them, the gameplay is they want to go out wide and cross the balls in. But the quality of the cross is suspect, and they don't have numbers in the box also. So I don't know why you're trying that tactic. But otherwise, mediocre game at best. It reminds me of some random Chiefs game.
Wait again.
Just do it nice. Just be a gentleman.
Oh, we're doing so nicely, Mara. Sinje, on the burner. How are you, my brother?
Pretochman, how are you?
Me, I'm okay, man. When you're watching other countries and you're a fan of football, there's nothing to complain about too much. Tell me, how did you see this?
It's quite interesting to see two teams, one playing this modern day football without a Cameroon playing without an out and out playmaker. And then you're watching Cameroon. You are watching
Guinea.
Guinea, a more traditional setup in terms of their approach. It's good. It's good that we are witnessing this. It's been something that I always wanted to see. How do modern day football compete in terms of ball circulation when you've got a traditional setup? Your proper 2, proper 3, proper 4, proper 5, 8, 6, and 10, and 7 and 11 and 9. That's how the setup of Guinea looks like. And I like that. I like that we are. It means it still works. It's been answering a question that I've always wanted to hear. Will it work playing your you know who's your anchor, you know who's your box-to-box midfielder, you know who's your creative midfielder. You don't see players swapping those roles. You've got one, it's designated individual. I like that. I like what I'm seeing. Too bad they've got the red card from their own wing player. Now, let's see what they're going to do.
Okay.
That's what I'm witnessing, basically. As for getting a star, we are not shut down. We don't like putting lonely stars on top of our beds. We're Bafana. We're a communal nation.
Hey, Mara, you guys, we'll save this energy for tomorrow, man. Maluma Gutsa, welcome to the show, my brother. How are you?
Mr. Uti.
Inside.
Bafile labantu. Bafile labantu. Yeah, man, it's alive, man. It's alive. Imagine having to watch this with your country not involved. Yeah, where we had to, because the AFCON has been like this for some time, a very cagey affair. And sometimes imagine Bafana is not there. But man, because we love football, you have to watch this. You understand? It's been very painful for South Africans. But watching these guys play and thinking of how we usually set up, Whether we set up for such cagey affairs later on, I think we'll be able to swim. You understand? We've got, I think we've got in Otebo Hobukwen, we've got a player who knows how to break loose.
Evan. See, bells happen.
That's what happens
Mululukutsu.
when you keep
We
busy.
must talk about the game.
Yeah, that's what happens when you, that's what happens when you're busy praising Sundowns players.
No, Sinje. I said something. I hope you're in the group about Kaizer Chiefs
In 300
and their
meters,
supporters.
at the roundabout,
We
take the
have to
first
be
exit.
wary at all times because they have ulterior motives. It's never genuine.
Guys. Nila ngathi nikhuluma keep this energy for
Good.
tomorrow. I'm not saying you mustn't speak about it. Mara tomorrow, guys. I'm going to speak about tomorrow. Agent, I wanna,
no.
just for time's sake, I want to come back to you, Agent. Is it, are we seeing a highly tactical game, or is it two very sloppy teams that I hear Sinja saying that it's modern football versus traditional setup? I'm just worried about the quality of this game.
Kuto said something right. I think he was further stressing what Baxter said. We have to take some of these things from certain fan base with a pinch of salt. Some people are don't know how it feels like to wear a kid with a badge, but you're not there. I think for me, it's not. Sometimes we see things differently. For me, I don't see the tacticality of it, But then again, I'm a layman also in terms of this, But I hear the point that Sinjay is talking about that, it's a more of a traditional setup against the modern setup. But for me, the quality is not there, guys. No, it's not there. It's just a poor game in my books,
Can I ask you,
because
are
I'm
we
failing to see
expecting? Are we expecting too much from these games? So is it that Abo Cameroon are still living off of past glories? So when you say Cameroon, you think of Abo Rigobert song, Abo Eto. But then you watch this and you're like, hey man, there's not even really a proper standout player.
Yeah, so some of these teams are. It's like seeing Celine Dion is beautiful, ne? Yeah. Because we're just based on that memory of him, not now. But it's fine, you're not there. I think the problem is with these teams is there are two problems, right? One is either you're a Ghana where you are trying to suck the last drop of blood out of the generation, the golden generation, or you are a Cameroon, if I may say, where you are trying to build a new golden generation. There is no team so far that I've seen, except maybe Senegal, where you are saying this team is at its peak. So it's either you are at the end of the line or you're at the beginning. So I think that's the problem for me.
How much of it is coaching? Rigobert Song is a fairly new coach. And then on the other end, those old white guys, man, that keep being here, 60, 70-year-old guys. How much of it is that we're also seeing play out here?
Some of these guys, I feel like if the ball goes astray and hits them, we're going to have a funeral there, but it's fine. I think typical of international football, it's not about how you play, it's all about the business side of things. Can you get the win? And I think that's what matters at the end of the day. Like Ivory Coast is not wow, but they got the job done, and that's what matters in international football. Yeah.
Okay. Let me go to Sinja. Sinja, are we expecting too much from these countries, man? Have we been blindsided because we haven't been here watching this thing? Because our team, when last were we here? 2019. Our team hasn't been here for a while.
Yeah.
So maybe we're not sure about the level of the football we're meant to be watching. And we still think of Cameroon as those old teams. How much of that is playing into this? That maybe this is the real African football?
Look, I think we also are watching these games with a lot of expectations because the majority of these players that are playing in these big countries that you're mentioning are playing overseas, and it's not nice when you see players that are playing in the EPL defend the way they were defending uh, and playing that nonsensical football that we were watching, in particular when Ghana was playing. So look, there are teams that are you can see the quality. For instance, as much as Egypt struggled yesterday, but you could see the quality in its players. Senegal demonstrated that they do have quality. Ivory Coast has demonstrated that they do have quality. And when you're watching those games, you can see how far ahead they are with Bafana Bafana. So as much as there are some sort of, I would say the Mozambique and Egypt. That was like a one of the almost setup caused what do you call this, an upset, because we expected Egypt to do a walkover. So you can actually see, Guti, there are teams that we thought that they're not going to perform. They are performing, and those that we thought that they're going to outperform, they are not. So it's got the element of surprise as well, which is good for the tournament in my book.
And then
In my book.
and is this maybe some of what we're watching? Some of the problem is that you are getting coached by a 70-year-old man who comes with that very, very old football. And then you're on the other end, you've got Rico Besong, who are, I guess, fairly new coaches, I guess. On the other end, should we be finding a happy middle point here? And maybe that's why we're seeing the quality do weird things here.
Yeah, look, I think you could actually see that gelling is also going to be part and parcel of what demonstrates quality in terms of quality of football that we are seeing, instead of individual stars being in a team. Yeah, different philosophy of these coaches, old versus new. It also brings that element of David and Goliath kind of vibes as well. Yeah, let's see. I don't know how Sundowns are going to do in this one. So no offside goals will stand from these
No.
Sundowns players. They are used to winning. I'm not from goals, but anyway, that's what
Hey, Mara, you guys. Let me go to. Let me go to. Should we be adjusting our expectations of this tournament? Because for me, it hasn't lived up to anything I thought I would see.
As Mr. Oti, we are South Africans. We really like it with some style, you know. And these countries got to a fair. Like, yeah, we understand that they are winners. They win. Even the mighty Senegal, and as much as they might have won 3-0, but it's never with like that thing, as Saudi Motoning would say, or yeah, gumnandi manje, the no look pass, the persons way just eliminating players, leaving players on the floor. Nothing. Try, Mr. Oti. Sesilinde nje uThembazwane ukuthi uThembazwane uzoshelela mshishi. Like that's our people.
Is it even about dry? Because I think what's shocking me a lot in these matches is that basic, basic defending, basic this, basic that, a basic game plan. You don't even see those type of things outside of Ushuge.
I look at it, Mr. Oti, and I think maybe they are overcoached from where they come from. And with having to adjust to African football, some of these top players, and which I think we actually lack top players, if we're being honest. They also put their teammates, you understand? Because you look at Abu Mohamed Salah, who else was in the team?
El Neni.
You understand? That's how bad it becomes. We end up looking at El Neni. You understand? Yes, 1 point to Trezeguet, but when you look at the entire tournament, some of these top players also need a backing player. For example, can I dwell on Mohamed Salah a bit? Mohamed Salah, is something like Cristiano Ronaldo, and before anyone kills me, he's a finisher. He's not out there creating goals. If times are tough, he'll probably be vocal so that he gets things done. Not that he's gonna go deep. Are you pegging bees? Like your Messi's, your Dubrains, who are able to make something out of nothing, as Junior Kanye would say. So I feel like we lack those type of superstars. The superstars we have are finishers, if I may. I don't know if that makes sense. And the fact that E6, even Lamachita, I really think, not necessarily Ushugela, but just wow the crowd. Football should be entertaining. It's entertainment, Mr. OT. No, it's not just about the competition. You know, like Uyo and Trop said, football is the most important things of the least important things. You understand? It gives life to the lifeless, Mr. OT. As more stress, bafuna ukuxosha esipanini umfazi uyakuthuka, but you know ukuthi I'm gonna get my 90 minutes and escape from all of this. But you get your 90 minutes and you watch nje people bambathisa lokoko fela, no one is doing anything. I think it gets frustrating.
Okay. And what's your comment on these really old men who are coaching, and maybe is part of the problem that the ideas are from the early 90s, and that on the other end you've got new coaches coming in who they aren't cooked all the way. Is that maybe some of what we're seeing here, particularly in this game? Malome Kuta, you gone?
Ever since he started.
Like on or kidding.
Oh, there we go. You got my question.
Yeah, no, all I was saying is abantu abadala vele bona, they are straight to the point. You understand? They don't look for fashion and everything. They just want to dress up, go to the shop and come back. So vele the coaches will be alike to say, why do you need to do all of those funny things? That's polukore fit. You understand? So it is a factor, if you ask me.
Okay. Agent, score prediction.
Ever since Abuti Kuzo has affirmative for Sundowns, you can see the Sundowns effect, hey? You can see the codes that, hey, this one, hey? Ay. Most important things, eh?
Are you saying Sundowns? Are you saying, let's Steve quotes this thing? No, anyway, go on.
Yeah, I know, Steve Compella, everything, Sundowns, you can see that time, man. Even the intelligence can hear that this one, eh? But he's not a Chiefs fan, by the way, so I think makes sense. 1 plus 1 plus 2, 2.
Man.
But I think Guinea needs to bring in a Nabi now, because they're short, and maybe consolidate a bit more, because I don't think that wingers are that fast. Maybe Bayo can clean that transition. Let's see. I don't know. I think 2-1. I think Cameroon will win 2-1, just because they're 1 man up.
Very quickly. He's gone. Okay, he's gone. That's fine.
He's gone, eh?
Wait, Agent, while I have you here, I want to ask a question.
Yes.
Why are we seeing these teams resting the Tatsavona?
I think maybe because they came a bit late, I want to assume. So they think they've not yet gelled. I don't know. Or maybe it's a case, we'll see, I think in the second and third game, where is it a case of maybe there was a deal somewhere struck where you're saying you're not going to play all the minutes, you don't want to get injuries and overexposed. So I don't know, man. I don't know. But it's weird. It's very weird. Especially every coach, that was very weird.
Yeah, it was very weird. But okay. No, thank you, my brother. We're gonna reconnect. Okay, look, here are my thoughts about this game. Cameroon is trying to cross to score. Cameroon is overloading the wings, right? Issue is that it seems as though Guinea is sort of prepared for that, because if you overload and send more players down the wing, we send more players down the wing. And then it kind of cancels out Cameroon. Cameroon is not necessarily sure what to do in that situation. It seems that they're very, very, very one-dimensional in the way that they want to play. If you look now, So there's 4 players on that side of the pitch, right? Watch Guinea. Guinea sends as many guys that side. And then if we need to switch, we all switch. Now, Cameroon doesn't know what to do when they get to the front. Look, they're probably going to lose this ball, or it's a cross that's going to... Oh, goal! Hey. Hi, guys. Maybe I am the problem here. Maybe I am the problem here. Okay, let's see. Cameroon scores. Cameroon scores. I guess that's the tactic they wanted to go with, which hadn't been going well in the first half. But yeah, here we go. It's 1-1. Cameroon has come back. So as I was saying, that's what they were trying to do all game long, and they couldn't find that final cross. Maybe losing Konate has helped with that. But look at this defending. Okay, look at this defending. Look. Guys, I'm sorry. No way, guys. Okay, and so as I was saying, I'm seeing that. And Sinja was correct in saying that it seems as though there's 2 types of football at play here. There's 2 types of football at play here. And one is newer school, trying to overload wings, and the other one doesn't seem like, it seems just be solid and try nick a goal, essentially, right? So we've been seeing that a lot in these in this tournament so far. And yeah, it looks like it's going to hurt Guinea right now, Mara. Let's see if Cameroon can get their tails up and do something. You see, down the wing. Overload, master overload, and then you're good. Yo, and now Mr. Last you're saying the same thing and there was a goal. That's why I'm like, hey guys, when Bafana plays tomorrow, I must just be negative. Full negative, 100% all the way, volume up negative. Because I'm the curse here. I'm the curse here. Every time I say something, they score. Or every time I point out one of the issues they've had all the game, all of a sudden they're able to score. I can only party, man. Agent, I can only party. Every single time. But yeah, let's see if we get a better second half. I don't think it's going to be better from a quality standpoint where they're going toe-to-toe and all of that. I am probably going to go with a Guinea collapse. Guinea have not played, man. Guinea have not played. Even the goal they scored was a scrappy goal. And what I'm being told is that it's an AFCON goal. It's an AFCON scrappy type goal and win. But let's see what happens. We had a very, very interesting conversation because I feel as though some of the problems of what might be happening here at AFCON is that you have international players coming in and playing the local game. And what I mean by the local game is these scrappy types of things. You know, Hugo Bruce is known for this. A ton of coaches that have come in from that side, the older gents come in and they're very old school, very conservative. And sometimes it feels as though their players don't know how to play that football because day in and day out, they play different football. Think about Aaron Mkwena, who was playing CDM all the time that side, and then he comes in and they put him center back, you know. That might be one of the issues that we're seeing here. And also, just on the other end of the scale, Aboriga Besong, man, they're new coaches. I don't think they're all the way formed up for this. Like, I feel as though a national team is a completely different issue. A national team is not a club team, you know? And maybe that's my old school thinking. Let me know in the comments. But a national team is not meant to be a building place. It's not meant to be a 2 years of installing your style of play type place. It's meant to be pick the best players and play them to their strengths. Sometimes it feels as though African teams and players are not playing to their strengths, and they're asked to do a ton of different things. Somebody mentioned Mohamed Salah. Mohamed Salah is not a build-it person, as was mentioned halftime by the panelists. It's not a building player. He's not a guy that's going to take it from the back and do all of these funny things. He finishes. So if he gets to Egypt and you're like, yeah, my guy, because you're so good, I need you to go back and tackle at the back and do this and do that and do that, you may lose them. Simply Cursive says, came late, so I don't know if you already discussed it, but how do you feel having the poor Senegal game coverage, says Simply Cursive on YouTube? It was prime game with players who are legends in Europe with Mane and Koulibaly, and we have technical difficulties that delayed coverage for over 30 minutes. I think, honestly, I feel as though this is all to do with the deal that CAF had to do. A lot of the right stuff was only done last minute, and I don't know if the people who had the rights can carry this. Now, I will give them benefit of the doubt because the other matches that pretty much ran without an issue. It seemed as though even our local people, like for example with us with Supersport and SABC, they couldn't even get transmissions from their commentators. So it's probably something that was a nationwide thing or something that affected a lot. So I'm not going to say, I don't want to give it too much and say, no, guys, it was up to the people. But maybe then you need to start questioning CAF and them and New World TV and all of those guys. How are they broadcasting? What is the deal? What is the plan? What is the failovers? Things like that, you know. But yeah, I wasn't impressed with the thing. Luckily, man. Luckily, Upra Steve was there. Upra Steve was there to give us an informal CAF license thing right there. CAF license lesson right there. Kuto, I said names, doesn't play football, played in the field of play, and this is Africa. Rato says Kuto wants to see him to do the shawalala. Wait for Zwane tomorrow. Just win the game. Just where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Hang on.
And we even have transition and what. Sometimes I don't even understand what they're saying. They say, hey, these guys are talking over stuff. I mean, just win the game, guys.
I think the shocking part for me is just the general play, like the basic stuff. I watched Ivory Coast overcook passes, make the wrong decision, do all of those things in their games where you're like, man. You watched Nigeria, who have all the names, Osimhen, all of those guys. But then you look at their finishing and their general play, and you're like, Marakai, are we making such a big deal about you guys? But when you come back, you can't make a difference. Again, when you think back to the older gens, Samuel Eto'o, El Hadji Diop, all of those, that Papa Boba Diop and those guys, you were watching games, guys. Even if it was scrappy and hard and, physical, you were watching games, And the star players were star players. JJ Okocha and those guys, they were star players for a reason. Which star player here this tournament so far, and I know it's still very early, but the tournament so far, which star player has stood out here? Like a person that you were looking at before the tournament started, and you were like, you know what, man? Salah, Osimhen, all of you guys, I'm looking at you guys to change how we play and to do different things. How many star players have stood out? And besides the star player, how many of the big teams the bigger teams of European-based players, I know Europe is meant to be the best, European-based players can't even make a 1-2 pass. Simple 1-2 pass. That's what's worrying me about AFCON. And I don't know if it's maybe an effort thing. Maybe they don't want to put in the effort. I don't know. But to be honest with you, I have not been enthused. But there have been some good matches. Yes, Coach Tivovo. Yeah, Coach Tivovo was giving us a lesson. I love analysts, man. I love analysts. I love coaches. I love all of that stuff because when you can explain something better than somebody else, it's always nice to watch. Even though we all understand the ideas, we understand the ideas of zonal marking or speaking about those type of things. We get it. But yeah, maybe it's because he can teach it, he can preach it. He's got that cadence, preacher. Maybe that's it. OT, watch Pesita doing common magic tomorrow with Zwane Magic. Ow! Oh, wow, 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 wow. You guys, man, I like you guys. I like the patriotism, man. I love the patriotism. To say that you're going to do well, I love it. Lerato says so far, no star has been influential. It's been disappointing that they don't take this serious. And again, I just feel as though it's either they're holding back, and I'm hoping that by the time we hit group stages, these guys are no longer holding back. But it's scary, man. It's scary. It's not even to say that you're expecting, or actually, it's a continental showpiece. You're expecting top draw quality, top draw everything. So it's a little bit disappointing, you know. And these are professional players, man. If we can go so hard at PSL players for this, for their play, we should be able to go so hard on full international players on their play and not water down our expectations. But yeah, it is international football, man. International football isn't, and let's give up my World Cup. International football itself is just something else. International football is just something else. Okay, let's see. Oh, support him! Professional foul. Professional foul. How is a player? They finally played out. The player is through. No one is chasing. In fact, his support slowed down. His support literally slowed down and didn't carry on with the chase. But that was a good professional foul. That was a good professional foul. He saw a good day. Yeah. He had to take one for the team there. Had to take one for the team. Now target him. You're seeing that Cameroon is committing more people forward. And you're seeing that they seem to be comfortable trying to defend in a 2. And I think this is the 3rd or 4th time where Guinea has caught them on a break. Now you got to use it. And it's either you use it to score or you use it to isolate one of the defenders. I think if I was a coach, that would be my number one message. Now he's got a yellow card. I need you to run at him. I need you to run at him. 4 times they've been out here. Let's see, free kick, Guinea. Look at that. Counter done. I should run for office. I'm doing the groundwork. Bafana FC is on a roll. I think I was also thinking that professional foul could have been a red. But I think the distance from goal and Kanalering Dogso, it's not a clear goal scoring opportunity. So I would not necessarily give a red card myself, or would expect a red card myself if in that situation. Had he been a little bit closer, then maybe I would have been red card. But I think yellow is fair. I think yellow is fair in that situation. I want to see if I can summon this thing at will. Awuriga besong man. Hey players there, I'm a player wethu lawo, I'm a player wethu. I want to just check what's happening this side. In general play, Europe have the same problem. Watch Chelsea and Man United. The game is losing its ability to produce star power. I think it comes from Guardiola, who overcoaches. He doesn't encourage individual brilliance. And having won what he has won, that's how your modern day coaches see the game, by telling players how to act and react in every scenario. This gives players less responsibility to change play. Thank you, Simply Cursive. Thank you, Simply Cursive. Now, this is going to be a transition into a bigger conversation about football. It might be as well that we're not seeing stars, and the stars are sitting on the bench, especially now. For example, the Ivory Coast game where the quote-unquote stars were sitting on the bench. It might be because football is moving into a place where the managers are playing FIFA. The managers are playing FIFA, they're playing Football Manager. They need you to do exactly what they need you to do. They need you to move exactly how they want you to move. exploit spaces how they want you to move, and do all of that stuff exactly to a T. You don't have players being allowed the responsibility, allowed the chance to make their own decisions on the pitch. And if there's one characteristic of star players, is that you can't have a star player follow the script all game long. They're going to go off script. So maybe that's why we're not seeing players like Abo Lodge, players like Abong Fukeng, and all these guys who maybe won't listen. Maybe that's what is meant to be making football better, but it's also killing football. I've always said that those teams of old were teams that were made up of 9 6.5 out of 10s and two 9 out of 10s. And now football is, I don't necessarily care about your quality as long as you do what I say, right? And it's a pattern in football where I'm like, maybe that's why we're losing star players. But star players are star players, man. Star players, sometimes, you know how many times Arsenal was playing the worst football, and then Henry would just go, okay, guys, okay. It's my time now. You guys have been messing around. I'm going to take it on now. These crosses, man, these crosses that go into nowhere. Oh, guys, if there's one thing I dislike more than anything, it's football where you're cross balling. Like even now, this shot only came because the ball bobbled down the middle. They've been throwing cross after cross after cross, and granted, one cross worked, but it doesn't even seem like the cross has a target. Ooh. Football, guys. It doesn't seem like the cross has the target. I'd love to see Naby Keita come on, man. Maybe that's why I put Naby Keita on the bench. Shiga, you know these African stars are giving Lautaro Martinez by not contributing anything in the World Cup. But I think another red card is coming before the end of the game. I would target. Cameroon is being very naive with their defense. OT, I'm worried if Bafana goes to the top 8, people still going to say Sundowns is through. Did you hear Agent? Agent sent a message now saying that if Bafana win, we won't hear the end of it. Makes sense. They want players who are tactically disciplined, who won't express themselves. But Nerato, is that to the detriment of our football? Because it's also not even just down to tactics. Modern day coaches struggle with man management. Think about the new age coaches and how many times there's public spats with players, especially the bigger players, the older players, bigger players in terms of stature, in terms of status in the world and things like that. Think about how many coaches are fighting. Ten Hag Sancho, Mikel Arteta, Ozil, Oba, Laka, Guendouzi. Think of those type of things. And what I'm worried about is, I think Simply Cursive is correct in saying that this came down to Pep. But what people don't understand about Pep is that when you have those type of resources and you're that type of coach, the normal player to us and the normal player to Pep is leagues above what other managers can do. And where Pep can go into a market and get rid of everybody and bring in everybody that he wants, not everybody's going to have that luxury. So sometimes you have to allow the star player some leeway, right? Because they're the star. Sometimes you need to know which players you're going to speak to, which players you're going to punish. Those are all soft skills. You know, the greatest managers of back in the day had soft skills. How do I get a player into line? The different players. For example, Sir Alex Ferguson speaks about Cristiano, right? And he said, I never had to go too hard at Cristiano because he was competitive. I just had to know how to hit him where it would go. So then he's apparently, the season that Ronaldo did well, they had made a bet where he told him that I don't see you scoring more than 15 goals, right? For example, man management. He understood good. Oh Lord, this is the soft spot. These ones now, If we're having a larger conversation about football, these ones now, and the sad part is that you're not going to get everything that you want all the time. And the players that do listen, unfortunately, a lot of the time, those players aren't necessarily the best players in the world. El Neni is still on Arsenal's books. It's not because El Neni is an incredible player. It's because when I put him on the pitch, he'll listen. I don't even trust him enough to put him on the pitch, but I'll keep that man in my pocket. But come a big personality, Ten Hag Ronaldo, come a big personality, they don't know how to handle them. And this is maybe what we're seeing here. I believe Naby Keita is on the bench. Naby Keita is on the bench. Now, if I was Guinea coach, I don't think I would play a game without Naby Keita. Honestly speaking, I don't think I would. But who knows? Maybe Naby he's got an ego. He's a little bit bigger than everybody else. I put him on the bench. Ivory Coast, in the opening game of a tournament that's been hosted in their country, had Serge Aurier on the bench, had Pepe on the bench, had forgetting the last two on the bench. And you're like, what might be the cause of these things? Abu Bakr is apparently injured. Apparently he has been ruled out for the rest of the tournament, so we probably won't be seeing Abu Bakr. And I think Abu Bakr would be incredible in this team. Oh, would be incredible in this tournament. He's good for the tournament, but yeah, he's not there. Ivory Coast has a lot of talented players. Bring Keita on 75 minutes for his energy and awareness. I guess. I don't know how much the energy and awareness is useful at 1-1 with a red card. I don't know, but I understand. I get what you're saying. And having one or as one gives players less responsibility to change play. I want guys, I remember maybe I'm looking at this very as a nostalgia thing. Maybe I'm thinking back and I'm seeing it through the eyes of when I was watching it. But for me, it's not even just about stars in terms of, number 10. That number 10, Shawani Paitu. Like, you had standout players all across the pitch. Think about this Cameroon team. You can mention Eto up top. You can mention Rigobert Song at the back. You could mention Abo Patrick Mabedi. Like, we had stars who were very good in their positions. Now we have a bunch of average players who are okay and just do whatever the coach wants them to do. Did he almost... Hey, Guinea coach almost hit the camera there. He was like, why are you getting so close right now? But yeah, no, we'll see, guys. Let's see how it goes. But guys, at City, most players express themselves. No, Kolani. That's why I was saying that Pep has access. Pep's normal. Pep's normal is KDB. Pep's normal. And Pep for me is one of the older coaches. I look at Pep as one of the older coaches. I think we've learned the wrong lessons from a Pep Guardiola. He's one of the older coaches, right? Same as Klopp. Currently, the guys who are dominating football, let's be honest, outside of, let's say, Germany, the guys who are dominating football are old coaches. Pep Guardiola is, 2007, 16 years in? 16 years, and even before that was with the B team. Carlo Ancelotti, we know about Carlo Ancelotti. He's been coaching for a ton of time. One of the most decorated, if not the most decorated Champions League coach. I know he won it at different teams. I just can't remember what the record was. But anyway, he's an older coach. Jurgen Klopp is you could say, an older coach. They understand the value of having a Salah on the pitch and letting him do some things that maybe don't go to the plan. He understands having the quality of KDB, but then most of the coaches, what they've learned from him is that keep PlayStation in this thing. Keep PlayStation. Very interesting conversation. We should actually have this on one of the shows. I'm gonna upset Theo with his over 2.5. This game, I want Guinea to steal it, man. I don't know why. I just want Guinea to steal it. The oldest coach is Don Colo, who is much better than both Pep and Klopp. Don Colo is the most consistent. Exactly. And when you ask Don Colo his philosophy, I remember they interviewed him when he was still the Real Madrid coach. He said, "Guys, me, I coach to the personnel that I have. If we need 3 passes to score a goal, we'll play 3 passes. If we need 25 passes to score a goal, we'll play 25. It's that adaptability, man, and the new coaches don't have that. And I think that's why we end up watching this, if I'm being 100% honest with you. If I'm being 100% honest with you. We end up watching this. Great for the tactical gents. I know the tactical gents love this type of football. Marai Tina Banye ish. I also want Guinea to win, says Kumbuzo. Lord Ricochi, these players are international, but playing in different leagues, different systems and styles. I hear you. And that's where the tough job of being national team coach. That's where the difficulty of being national team coach lies. It's not you having access to all of this. It's how do I put it all together? And I think a lot of our coaches have too much of an ego to just play. Man, just play how these, the Spanish coach when Spain went on that run, just played. Like he was like, no, guys, you guys come from Barcelona, you play tiki-taka, let's play tiki-taka. We'll fit in the other guys into it, but for the most part, we're going to play tiki-taka. I don't want to complicate things. I'm just worried about the basics, man. Some of the defenders can't keep a line. Just a basic line, guys. A basic line. The goal that Cameroon scored in this game, you've literally got 4 defenders in the box. You don't have extra Cameroon people inside the box. So all you have to do is go to your man. Kokasi, we used to go, hey, nangumuntu wako. And the left back kind of squeezes all the way into almost the penalty spot. And for me, logically, that doesn't make sense because now there's space. I can understand you being by the post, just inside the post, because it's harder work for that person to finish that. But you saw the guy. You are aware of the guy. And he still beats you far post. Come on, guys. Come on. I'm sorry. Come on. Especially for a team like right now. Look, right now. They've been crossing all game long. Now, that one was low, but they've been crossing all game long. Surely something has to click and go, hey, Mara guys, coach so, but my experience, my knowledge of this thing, my European what, surely must give you some things that you look at there and you go, oh, okay, I can't see this. I think I struggle with that, especially with modern day players. I struggle with that type of thing where this thing has happened 3-4 times. It can't beat you on the 5th attempt. It cannot. It cannot. These players who will get to the byline and just throw a ball in, man. Just throw a ball in. We've got no plan. We've got no place where everybody must go. If you look at the type of defending we saw Ivory Coast when they scored their first goal and then hit the crossbar, the defenders are on 6s and 7s. Like you saw the goal that Guinea scored in this game. The defenders are in 6s and 7s. Like, guys, that's what's getting me about these games. It's not necessarily that I want to see the most beautiful football. I'm just looking at these guys and saying, all of you guys get on planes and go back to your clubs in different countries. But trapping and playing a pass has nothing to do with heat, guys. Trapping the ball and making a simple pass has nothing to do with heat. Oh, it's so humid there, huh? And what's sad is that if they did this at their clubs, bench. Newcastle United can't also keep a straight line. It's about the player selection of opponents. That's what I'm trying to say, Wahib. It was two different things. So player selection on the cross, right? But then in terms of the straight line, there was a moment in not the Mozambique, the Cape Verde match where, what's his name? Joko, they're being attacked. They win the ball back. Then the ball gets won back. And he sees the winger and he's in the middle. And he runs out to try get a highlight. But there's literally two defenders and an opponent right behind him. And you see him stop, like, oh. And then he runs back, like, oh, wait, where was I going? And I'm like, these are professional players. You are professional players. This is all you do. Every day, all day. It's your career. That's what I meant about the high line, the line thing. Wahid, my brother, bring Haaland to this AFCON and you'll see him, his weakness ever, which is true because he won't fit the system. But then it begs the question that if most of your players are European, based, do you not hurt yourself by trying to impose an African type football on them? I mean, if you look at this Cameroon team, none of them play in Cameroon. So why play that African thing instead of playing something that they're comfortable with? Because then you watch them be uncomfortable for game after game after game. Instead of going, all right, guys, this is what you guys play overseas or over there. Again, like it's that thing I was telling you guys about being a national team coach. National team coach, guys, I don't think it's all about tactics and all of those type of things to that degree. I think it's about, hey guys, let's figure out the style of play and let these guys play their quality. And once we've got the basics down, they can carry the rest of it because they're quality. The national team coach, honestly, should not be coaching hard. They should not be sitting there doing all these different. I remember I used to make fun of Bafana because you'd go to a Bafana camp and you'd see Coach Pizzo and whoever teaching players movement. And you're like, Coach Pizzo, you only have a week with these players. Why don't they know about movement when they get to this place as professional players? For example, if you look at this game, Guinea lost a man 45th minute. So for the last 37 minutes, they've been playing with Cameroon having an extra man. Cameroon have not made any use of that advantage in this game so far. They're still doing the same exact thing. 4 players on the side, we cross. And then hopefully the cross falls to somebody, even though you're playing a team that is 9 men down, that is a man down, and they're playing low block. You're not even flooding the box. Watch. They're going to go back to the side. There's 4 men to the side, 2 in the box versus how many defenders? So that man has to do so much work to win that ball. Instead of sacrificing somebody who's going wide and putting in a third person into the box, and then maybe your crosses look a bit better if you choose to go for that tactic. But again, it's just pop it in, guys. Where's he crossing? Why is he crossing? Why is he crossing there? Sorry. Are they hoping for second balls? Just second balls? Are they hoping for that type of thing? I don't know. The man management skills are very impressive from certain coaches like Pito Tinkler and Kompela. And Wahib, I think if there's one thing, there was an interview that Pito did, and he said in the interview that, here, you can win them here, and you can motivate them, and you can find their points. He's like, he had to study a lot of psychology stuff so that he could understand that, okay, this is how I deal with players. That stuff is gone from the game, man. It's gone from the game. You have coaches coming out and berating players. You have teams coming out and hanging players out to dry while they're contracted to the team. You have all of these different things, man, that doesn't seem like they have a knack for. OT Czech Mozambique yesterday was playing better because lots of the players are local, even the coach. Which is great. Maybe the question for Africa should be, how do we make sure that the quality of the African game and in our leagues is high? And I know resources and money plays a lot into this, but you export the players to go play Spanish football, then the Spanish football guy must come play Botswana football, South Africa football, Cameroon football. And it's like, oh, I'm just worried about these guys because they're all international. The only managers I know who does this are Mourinho, Carlo, Pep, Inzaghi, and Simeone. Managers these days aren't brave enough to make tactical changes inside the game. Oh, that's another one. Yo, Wahid, don't get me started. Oh, don't get me started on that one. You see something's wrong. Everybody can see it, but you will not make the change. Cameroon, you see that these people are one man down. You are 1-1 right now. It's the last 5 minutes. Throw in some attackers. Get 4 men in the box when you're crossing. If you're going to carry on crossing. Like, do something. But yeah, managers are slow to make tactical changes. True, I do believe tactical numerical advantages has to happen in this game. The problem, Wahib, is that the numerical advantages are happening in spaces that are not dangerous. There's no need for Cameroon to have 4 players on the wing when they're in build-up. If we're being fair, there's no need. Oh, safe. There's no need. Overload the box. You're already defending with 2 defenders. Why then do you overload a wing? And then from that overload, you cross, but because most of your players are sitting there, now you're aiming at 2 people or 1. Like that's my gripe here. But anyway, and I promise you, Bafana will also play better tomorrow, as 95% is local and Bruce will understand it. Bruce must just let Sundowns be Sundowns, man. If you have an extra man, rather go for a 3-3-4 system. Yeah, 3-3-4. Rather make a sub as an extra man with an extra striker or number 10. Exactly. Kitchen sink, as we call it. The kitchen sink. But maybe Cameroon will be able to steal it. We don't know. Let's see if they continue on with the tactics that they've been playing up to this point. Route 1 football. Good old Route 1 football. And guys, it's not to say that these tactics that they run will not work all the time. But sometimes, guys, not all the teams can play one football, man. And not all teams will have quality to play a specific type of football. Maybe you switch it up and play a different one because your players have particular strengths and weaknesses. If you want to win the game, you'd rather win rough and scrappy. Rough and scrappy, 700 crosses to 5 people in the box. I'm going to keep making that number go up. But let's see how much time is going to be added on here. If not, it's a drab 1-1 draw. It didn't have much chances. I mean, Cameroon has had 2 chances now in the past 30 minutes. But even those chances were like half chances where the ball bobbled. There's no direct line to a play that started here and ended here. 3 points is 3 points with extra men and less men. 3 minutes added. Look, they're just pumping them into the box, just pumping balls into the box aimlessly, floating them. 6 minutes. Okay, I guess. Does the time stop for the water breaks? I guess then if you include the water breaks, it makes sense, but 6 minutes is a long time, man. 6 minutes is a long time. But it gives Cameroon quite a bit of, it gives them 6 minutes more to try and get something from this game. Yeah. OT to adapt to a different system. To adapt to a different system and plan doesn't happen in one game, as players need to understand. Lodrick, I hear you, but they've had qualifiers, they've had friendlies, they've had a lot of time together between AFCONs. Unless maybe I'm wrong and Cameroon did a wholesale change of their squad, I don't know. But as far as I know, they've had time. It's not necessarily to change and do this, but it's like, guys, kitchen sink nyana. Win a corner, push everybody up. Yeah, Lerat, it's ending like this. Cameroon might be able to steal it because Guinea's defense is starting to look shaky, man. Guinea's defense, they're starting to look shaky. I just hope Bafana will be creative, but I'm still crying for Loch, Reyners, and Mayo. I want to save those chats for tomorrow with Napoleon. Ke batla go bua o sane ha re shebile Bafana ka matla rona. Live jive. There's been a lot of conversations about Bruce. A lot of conversations about Bruce that we've been having. Sidebar, do you guys remember the Cameroon team that wore the onesie? That wore that one, the bodysuit. Hey, that team was hot, man. The bodysuit, Cameroon, with the lion's paws here. Oh, but no European teams doesn't release players in time, as always. We had a conversation about it earlier, Lodwick. And I'm not gonna lie, if I was a European team, I would try keep these players as long as possible. I would try keep them. Imagine now Napoli doesn't have Osimhen. After all that investment, I'd also want to keep them. Kinda the number 10, Moriba. He's got a different name on the back of his jersey. Moriba, was he a Barcelona product? Wait. Moriba, let me just check. I want to see something. He was a Barcelona project, if I'm not mistaken. Alex Moriba, yeah, he's Barcelona. Oh, yeah, he was at Barcelona and then moved to Getafe. Or moved to RB Leipzig. And then he's on loan in Spain. You're expecting those players to stand up, man. Barcelona B, Barcelona, RB Leipzig, and then Valencia on loan, 2021 to 2023, then Getafe on loan. He is only 20, I guess. Can Guinea hold on for these last, what? There's a last minute here left. Kuti 001 and Rio. Osthandayo. Thank you for the gifts. Thank you for the gifts. Simply Cursive on YouTube says, Aibo, I know I was criticizing Pep, but to say Carlo is better is an unfair comparison. With due respect, Pep immortalized himself in football with his style of play. No matter how much money he spent over the years, he still had to get them to gel. For me, as a coach, he is number one, but as a manager, he comes behind Klopp and Ancelotti. He doesn't know how to manage huge egos like the other two. He left because of lack of game time. Oh, Moriba. Yeah, he left because of lack of game time, yeah. I was wondering because I was like, "Hey man, he's a Barcelona product. Hey, maybe he would have gotten some game time in this cash-strapped Barcelona." That's why Simply Cursive, I was like, Pep can treat players the way he treats them because he knows that he can replace them easily, quickly, wholesale if he wants. So he's basically playing the game that the new managers are trying to play, but at a higher level, at a higher quality level. And those coaches are trying to play the Pep game and be stern with players and kick out players and have hard lines for everybody and do all that stuff. When, my guy, that star is going to be the only star you have for the next 3 years. And the players you have with the star are not good enough to push it past a certain point. Okay, 1-1. 1-1, it has ended. 1-1, it has ended. I think these EPL players are a problem everywhere. That's why if you're not playing at Germany, they don't call you on the squad. Okay, guys, 1-1. That's how it ended. The line is open on TikTok. You can request, and I'll let you in, and we can just give our closing remarks of this game that we watched here. And not necessarily a classic. Not a game that, and maybe it is me, guys. Maybe it is me, and I'm the one who's blocking the classic games. I'm the one who's making them play badly. Agent, or can party? How? Where is he? Where am I now? Okay, so I'll give my closing thoughts then. Then we can wrap it up. It is 9 o'clock. Okay.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Oh, there we go. What can I party? Can I listen nyama?
That's nyama, my brother. That's nyama. We need to cleanse you there at Longkop there, be licked by the snake and stuff.
Yo, no black water, no snake at Sundowns, please.
No, but I think let me correct the statement. I was saying, if we win this, and it's a small if we win this, you'll never hear the end of it. On any random topic, I'll just bring Bafana in. Not saying Chiefs, what, no. I'm not going to say that. I'm not that like that. I was just saying, tomorrow, it's Chiefs fans, Sundowns fans, Pirates fans, we unite, and we jabulile, as they say there, But back to this game, what is it there to say though? What is it there to say? Disappointed, bored. Could a cheaper game? I think it would be a better game for me. Oh man, I think I don't know. Maybe when I don't know. But this was a disappointing game, I think I wouldn't be surprised if one of the big guys don't make it to the round of 16. Because the quality is not there, man. It's not at all,
But then what is it about this game, Agent? What is it about this game? Because we saw them, Cameroon kept trying to do the same thing. I understand the idea behind the crossing, but crossing into four defenders and continuing to do it over and over and over again without crowding the box or doing something different. Then you have Guinea on the other side who they've broken out 3 or 4 times against Cameroon, but then every time it's like they're not learning. Like, is it just a problem in football now that players and coaches don't learn? They can't adapt to the game.
Someone said Steve Barker is a good coach who plans. I think maybe Song also falls in that category. He's the coach that plans, because he came with a plan, go out right, bring your crosses in. He didn't care. It's not working. He didn't care. We're man down. Like, he didn't care, So I think maybe that's the downfall of the so-called modern coaches, that they're not tactically inept to make changes, So yeah, I'm bored, to be honest. I don't even think I'll watch I don't think I'll even watch the 10 p.m. game.
We love football, man. We'll watch it. I'm not going to be live, but I'll probably watch it. Let me go to CJ. CJ, a 1-1, man. 1-1. Again, we see a red card. We see all of these things, and we see coaches not adapting. Or is it us? Is the expectations of us football fans too high in terms of the adaptability of these teams?
I think your expectations are too high. You guys must lower your expectations. I told you to drink water. I told you to stop drinking that water because it's creating some sort of unnecessary expectations. I don't know what agent Diana is drinking there, but anyway, look, I think, as I said in the first half, it was a different methods of playing football. With Guinea playing the football on the ground, moving it into the channel, trying to expose those pockets. With Cameroon going through the sides, as you normally see in this modern day football, attacking with eights that are playing more sideways behind your false 7 and false 9,
Overlapping
and on the
fullbacks.
other side of the field as well. Overlapping footballs, as you can overlapping fullbacks, as you saw, trying to get the ball into the box via crosses, via side. That's what we're actually witnessing. If you could look at even if you look at the goals that Guinea almost scored, those breaks type of movements of the ball within the center of the field, playing those long passes, but playing them through the field, trying to expose those things. And that's why it was boring to a lot of people, because it's not what we actually want to see. It is just two coaches looking at, okay, where can I capitalize on my opponents? And with Guinea, they saw Uguti. There are pockets within the spaces of the field inside the final third, and also from their own third of the field into Cameroon's third. They could see those pockets. That's why they kept playing those balls there. And with Cameroon, they could see if we overlap, we cross, we've got a nice number 9 who can jump, and that's where the goal came from. And that's exactly what we saw today. But today's game made me wonder. In fact, the whole game's. I think, with jokes aside, I'm worried that Bafana left very pacey players behind. Seemingly, we've got too many static fullbacks, centre backs. You need pace in this particular tournament, and I'm worried that we don't have pacey players or pacey forwards. If you could watch the Guinea game today, that pace could have actually gotten them this game. If their winger was very clinical and passed the ball in, it could have turned out into be an upset as well. That's how I saw the game.
I think from my end, I understand the tactical stuff. I get it. My problem is the execution, and I think maybe my expectation comes from, I expect some of these players who play in some of the best leagues, I guess, in the world, you expect them to execute some of these things a lot better. So if Guinea's on a break, the first pass out to initiate that break, you expect it to be a little bit crisper or a little bit on target. You know, there have been plenty times where they had a 3v2 or 3v1 and the ball went out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's where my
Yeah.
my quality lie, my quality problem lies.
Okay, look, I think maybe we could attribute those things into the context they are playing in, new country, new fields. They haven't played there. They haven't played in the stadiums. So we maybe as the tournament progresses, you get to feel. You must remember this is a tournament at the end of the day. Players are playing with um, more more caution than they would if they were not playing in an ordinary league or whatever. This is a cup competition and this is the first game. No one wants to lose the first game. Either you go for a win or you want to draw. So you are playing with that in mind. Now,
Okay.
as the second game comes, maybe the quality of the football is going to change. It's going to change because now you know what the table looks like. Now you have set your goals and targets in terms of this is what we want. Then maybe we are going to see more clinical, more precise, more precision football than what we are currently witnessing today. Keketso, I don't think Pesitao has pace anymore. I don't think Pesitao is faster than Dupreez, or is he faster than Canyiso Mayo? I don't think so. As pacey as he
CJ,
is,
we have the Gautrain, man.
he's not.
Maseko's there, man.
That was no longer as fast as he used to be. And Apasa as well is not fast. And Morena, all of the people that you are mentioning, those people are not fast. I don't
Okay.
kilometers, 100 meters, less than 10 seconds, all of them.
Tapelo
About pace.
Maseko.
But we must know what we're talking about.
Tapelo Maseko.
He's
Gautrain is
not
there.
fast, that one as well.
Let me bring it to Maronza. Maronza, how are you, my brother? Welcome.
Good and you, man.
Yeah, I'm frustrated, Maronza. I'm frustrated because I expected too much from the tournament, but I've been disappointed so far.
Let me tell you something. I feel this the FIFA break or the FIFA how they plan. Actually, let me say careful how they plan this tournament. You know, they don't give teams enough time to prepare. Let's be honest. You know, and you find, for example, Senegal. Most of the players are playing from Spain, France. You can name them, Turkey, and all that. So if you have to mix all those different football types of style of play and all that in one basket, right? You need time to gel and all that. So hence you see, like, most of the time when they're playing, it seems like individual play. You know, I talked about it before. It's like individual play. Everybody wants to shine and all those things. Hence now the tournament is not exciting as we feel and what we're expecting, because I think they're not giving time to prepare. Let's be honest. You know, let's think of Bafana. Devin come back, play one game, and then they're there. And then what do we expect? Do you understand me? They're not giving time. Let's be honest. There's no time. There's so many politics within this tournament, because teams, they don't want to release the players. Blah blah. They don't give him time to to gel and all those things. So it plays a big role, if you can check. You know.
Mara Maronza go trepa polo. O pass.
Let me tell you something. Do you know other players, they come all the way from Europe just because they are tired, the bench warmers even there. When they come this side, they come and it's rusty, you know. Let's be honest, that players even in Mali, whereby if you can check, or not Mali, in Cameroon, if you can check, let's go and check the statistics. Are they playing? You find most of them, they're not playing.
Kibo
They're
El
bench
Nene.
warmers.
El Nene
Yes,
has
they're-
played 2 games in 2 years for Arsenal, bro,
Yes.
maybe.
And then sitting there, and then you want him when he comes the side to shine. How is he going to shine? You know, hence I'm saying they're not giving time to prepare. You know, same thing. So, football is all about confidence. Football is all about training. It's all about There's so many things. So if one puzzle is missing within those three things that I'm counting, you won't shine. Look how they miss. Look how they miss. To be honest,
Hey.
for professional, ukhahle
Eish.
ibhola ngathi liphume sithi ha angeke. How-
Baronza. Ke bone the positioning of the defense for that. Yo, they wait again.
You know, and look, Cameroon, they're forcing. If they're good enough, they're champions. They're previously they were champions, right? In the World Cup, they did very well. A team like that, why do you have to go to the side and then pump the balls? And that striker that is injured is not there. I think I don't remember his name.
Abu Bakr.
Yes, he's not there. Then he's injured. Why can't you be patient? Why can't you play the ball from the back? Try to build that thing. Try to pull them out of the penalty area and all that. But you're still pumping the balls. Why are you so desperate? Why? You know. And I'm saying now, we'll see a surprise winner in this tournament.
Okay.
It will be shocking. Last time I said it. People were Maronza. I'm telling you. The winner of this tournament, we're going to be surprised. Why is the space? You know? But anyway, they're not giving enough time, Chief. They're not
As long as
giving enough time.
I just want to see Danny Jordan holding the trophy.
That you know, for me, they rather give it to me, man. That guy is useless. I rather wait there or time if they win it and give it to me and raise it up. You don't know even most of you don't know me. We know that guy, but he's useless. He doesn't know anything. He's there sitting there. He's a bench warmer. Those are the bench warmers then. Yes.
Okay.
And we are where we are today because of those people. So Melesi City man so qualify Melesi come on. But anyway, thanks so much, man.
Okay, no Maronza. Thank you. Lala, welcome to the show, my brother. How are you?
Ngibingelele uthi enyakeni omusha mfethu ngibingelele
Hi.
nepanel lapho. Yeah.
Hi, welcome. Happy. Sibukeleni la.
You know, yabona something esingayi-understand nge-AFCON ukuthi AFCON always starts like this. Every tournament AFCON is always like this. Too much defensive, lack of creativity. That's why ama-final ama-teams eziwawina ama-penalty or i-final izoba 1-0. I-AFCON like we are a low ngathini. There are no goals AFCON. If you are gonna watch AFCON and expect goals, my man, I'm telling you, angeke wabona ama-goals AFCON. It can. I was shocked ukuthi izolo Egypt whenever they were playing against Mozambique, it was 2-2. I was shocked. Yeah, AFCON ihlala kanje. There are a lot of draws and always like this. And another factor that is contributing to AFCON ethibe kanje. Ngizovumelana noRoni no Senje. I think he mentioned it ukuthi AFCON abayithathi serious. Like ama-players la ase-Europe, they don't take it serious. Like they don't have the pride like ama-players ase-Brazil or Argentina whenever they're going to play Copa America. Ama-players wethu like they are going here ku-AFCON just nje for i-vacation yana. Okay, I'm just going there to connect to my roots. Nothing more about football. Like for Uzaha, like I'm gonna make a typical example of a few players, Abu Zaha and Abu Trakis Lampi from Ghana. Some players here who have AFCON are switching, yes, they've just switched nationality, but language, they can't even speak their mother tongue from a language. Uzaha, I think one of the factors ukuthi bangamkhethanga i-Ivory Coast, besides the it's the language. Uzaha ukhulele England and akayazi is French akasazi. He had to speak his French and no mother tongue yakhe akayazi. So that's what I'm saying ukuthi ku-AFCON it feels like ama-national team are under pressure and they just go and ask for a player in Europe, maybe belidlalele France, that represented France under 17 and 20, and then all of a sudden a player sela switch. But i-player malifika le akawazi nokukhuluma like i-language yakubo, ukhuluma isilungu kuphela. And then it gets to a team where ama-players wonke 80% they can speak language, they can understand each other. Bese yena afika maybe ne-language yakhe, and that's one of the contributing factors. That's what uZinedine Zidane said last time ukuthi why bangafuni ukuthi acoach England, and he said ukuthi language is a big fact. So that's why I'm saying ukuthi ama-players ama-bench warmers here like kuma-clubs wabo Europe, and then they come Africa and then it's all of a sudden badla like we have have i-CAF Champions League here. We have ama-players like siyibonile i-CAF. Ama-players adlala ku-CAF amaningi awa-represent ama-countries wabo whenever kuba ne-AFCON bafethu, and that's not fair. So that's why iba kanje AFCON. Ufika umahlalela we-bench warmer odlalela i-Arsenal azothathela ispace amanye abantwana, and then complete i-African football akayazi, like akekho. Like you can clearly see from i-match ezola El Nene akayazi into edlala El Nene. El Nene is just focused on being a club own. And he's just building his own Premier League team or whatever. Like it's not fair, bafethu, because and you can ungayibona ne-Cameroon. But the thing is, ngabo Cameroon is that I know ukuthi behind a Cameroon there's always politics. I know behind Cameroon there's always politics. So the way Cameroon is khona, they are missing a few star players. Yes, uOnana imbobo kuMan United, but leadership qualities whenever edlalela i-country yakhe, he knows, like we understand ukuthi Cameroon idlala kanjani. And they are missing Brian Mbomo. They are missing Abu Bakar. They are missing a few players Cameroon, and this is just the start of the tournament isaqala. And another thing ukuthi ama-players with like teams with Africa adlala defensive football. Like you can clearly see from Hugo Bros the way selecting ngakhona ama-players with represent, like uselect ama-players that more defensively kakhulu. Naye unaleyo ngqondo leyo ukuthi whenever kulama AFCON kulama competition abo AFCON there uzoyiwin i-competition ngokupaka ibhasi from day one. That's how i-AFCON iwina ngakhona. I-AFCON you don't have to be smart, you don't have to play good football. Ku-AFCON ukomele nje ube more physically, and then udlala ipark the bus football. That's when you are gonna get some results here ku-AFCON and you are gonna win. So AFCON is very different, and okunye futhi ukuthi iyabhora vele AFCON. We know we are just watching nje ngokuthi siya represent, because of mina I'm getting bored watching ama-players that are bench warmers e-Europe and then they come to a tournament bazoyenza ibhore kakhulu, and then they expect ukuthi bazothola starting lineup yabo. Like bafethu ezinye izinto man, European football iyasmosha. Like imagine if AFCON we have Abo Kamavinga, we have Abo Chuchumeni, we have Mbappe. Imagine lo AFCON bezwa mnandi kanjani, but nabo basibulele kakhulu man. Iqiniso manje likhulunywe, so basibulele kakhulu ama-African European Union kakhulu, because now they are benefiting bona. They are it's life goes on for bona. The Premier League is still continuing, isadlala, i-Bundesliga isadlala, and thina sina AFCON iswag asina ama-star players. Ama-star players are few, but you still have ama-players that are African, that are but representing a country. But and then we have the worst problem here. We have ama-players that are being manipulated not to play for Ibafana Bafana. And it's not only Ulail Foster player that wants to represent this country. Akona ama players. So that's why I'm saying the tournament to bayenza even week. And this over weeks. So ama 1-1 draw, ama 0-0 draw. Sizobona finally iwina ngo 1-0. So it's those things ukuthi i-AFCON izoba weak kakhulu, and especially this year leya manje weak kakhulu. Anyone can win the team. I heard amachita kuma comment sections saying we need ama-pacey players, and nami ngiyavumelana nalokho. So we don't have that vele, unfortunately we don't have that bafethu. So i-AFCON we must be prepared ukuthi i-AFCON i-final izoba 0-0 and the team izowina kuma-penalty. Yeah.
Okay, Dodlela. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Kumo, how are you, my brother?
Itsake brawaka.
Ay, Kumo re shebileng mona man.
Eish, o tla hopola Chiefs akere.
Awona ke.
Yo,
Awona.
No, I'm just
Chiefs
saying,
is in the
like,
back of my mind.
no, like you never know what you have until you lose it. Like the way we've been bashing PSL. What guys? I'm convinced PSL is great, man. And to think, Corey, there's Cameroon, there was Nigeria, there was Egypt, like the big guns that discipline the Jades and they played twag. That's the candidate one. How can I yo? And I'm starting to believe Marbafana can actually win this, Heck level the type of play by Ira. I get you know, I don't know if you guys have been playing Budi Fantasy League from a very young
I want, like I used to have this game, Barge Pro Evolution Soccer, where you build a player and a team. Kore my team, I was young, used to be fella like superstars. Like for instance, Messi, Ronaldo Wakale, Zidane. Kore no balance. That's how I feel ka most of these teams the more AFCON this year. And I'm glad this has to be one of the most open tournament, meaning like everyone literally has a chance, because no one is blowing any team out of the team, out of the park, because of Joe. Yeah. Ne, and worst part
these players that come from Europe and they play in these weird leagues all over Europe, are they actually good? Or is it us just saying Europe?
Get to a certain player won't mention the team or Dalla go Romania side Nela Matura AFCON. Yeah. I want a little Marina show goods here. That's if all proof. One again. Yeah, I mean, like you have a team in Sundowns which is dominating Africa, which is dominating in the PSL. They've got cohesion, but you guys were like saying, no team has to be balanced. They are a Foster, yes, Lel Foster will go
wait, I've got a sound for those carry you guys. Now you know my stance from day one. Not to you guys.
Mara, because you are our captain, you are our leader, so you have to take the responsibility. I get it when we praise you. So let's criticize you collectively. Lorna, you represent everyone else. Yeah.
Hey, Maraku. Come on.
Mara, it's embarrassing. Yeah.
No, I wanted to ask you, even this thing of saying African football, is it African football? Because I see a lot of old European coaches that float around Africa. Is this idea that African football is like this, is it really coming from Africa or is it those guys?
My guy, I want everyone, like African football, honestly, especially local East, West, local North, has been colonized. So Renamo Sadiq, that is why like you saw the Mozambique team play so some form of exciting football, because some players, including Bopelempe, have played in the PSL. So when you see them, you can say distinctively or more. So if you stay true to yourself, man, let's get what we have. Like we were able to win 96 AFCON, playing our own football brand. Bruce Lena game it a high decision making ya high Lena. Hey, okay, I wanna European football works. Go Europe, because those kids were taught to play European football from It's more Barry when you're a youngster, we're age cheating, about nearly 14, but we know you're 21 from where you're from. Then you wanna try and adopt style as a go Europe. Very well. It's not you, it's not who you are. And when you come here, you wanna be the biggest fishy, you wanna be the biggest star. Man, this is embarrassing. That is why tournament serious. Bola Foster suddenly have the medical conditions, the mental issues, because those are so you can't really blame these guys anymore.
Okay, hey, cool. Okay. I'm gonna jump at Amar. It's a cool boy, but it's fine. Let me bring in Chinga. Chinga, how are you, my brother?
I'm good. How are you, brother?
I'm great, my brother. I'm great. Listen. What did you make of this game? What do you make of the tournament so far? I've been a little bit underwhelmed myself.
Brother, for all the hype, I'm very disappointed myself. I've been watching the games last night and tonight. I just think we're going to see a lot of draws. It's just the way that we're playing. Teams are very afraid to go at each other. We're going to see a lot of draws. I don't think they're upsets, because when you watch the game, you don't see really a team running away with the game.
Yeah.
So I don't look at them as upsets. I look at it as when you watch the games, they deserve to draw. Even Egypt, when I watched Egypt, I was extremely disappointed. El Neni looks like he's playing, I don't know, in reverse, if you can call it. It's so slow, it's labored. Ah, I really do. I hope we tomorrow can at least, we've got the Sundowns players together, can play at least some attractive way or combinations or something. But what I'm seeing now is too many individuals trying to play. It's and I don't know. I was watching these European guys. I don't know, man. I agree with the guy that was speaking of. I mean, these European players who don't play, and all of a sudden now they front center
Star
is another
players.
thing. It's impossible. No, I'm very disappointed. I mean, it's making me not want to watch some of the games because I told myself I'm going to watch a lot of them. But now I'm going to start looking at fixtures and thinking and picking and choosing because angeke ngifethu hayi andiyazi
Are
it's
we
fine.
expecting too much? Is there an expectation factor that is too much, or are we now maybe waking up to the actual levels?
I know. I think after watching the African Football League, we have a standard of African football. It's okay. No, we can actually play attractive football, score goals, and those type of things. After watching that, I was like, this time, and even the way that the teams approached it, the way they were dressed, I'm like, oh, these guys are serious about the AFCON for the first time. But on the field of play, I just feel like everyone is trying to be a star. I don't know, man. Even watching Nigeria, it's like when they come and play for their countries, they play half pace. Literally half pace. I don't know what we can do to change it.
Hey, Chiga, I'm disappointed because whenever you watch, because I'm a primarily local football guy. So whenever we watch local football, we always say, it's so bad, and we look down at it and all of that stuff, and people tell me about Europe and all of that. Now we're seeing the European players, and part of me is going, I don't know if the difference between our local gents and those guys is that big because you don't see
No.
anything here, and maybe we are not really brainwashed to an extent to just believe that all of Europe is quality.
Yes, I think that's the case. I mean, we've got people in the AFCON playing in Malta. I mean, yeah, like Malta, and then those guys are better than the guys in the PSL. To me, it really doesn't make sense. Uh, the PSL, yeah, it should come back sooner rather than later. I also feel that way because yes, I was also be the guy dissing the PSL, also be like, hey, some of the games, but now today's game, there's a lot of teams I'd rather watch. I don't want to maybe mention, but I can I can I can watch a lot of other teams than what I watched tonight. Hopefully the Algeria game will be better. I doubt. The North Africans also have the style of play when they play in tournaments. If they score one goal, they want to be anti-football. So I don't know, man, and I really don't know if there's any time for South Africa to win or to play well, it's this year. Because there's nothing else happening anywhere else. I'm very all the teams have been disappointing. Maybe in the second matches they'll come back and do better, but I mean, even with the coaches that we have across Africa, these European coaches that no one in Europe wants, and now they're all here. Honestly speaking, I think we need to start looking at our own, but our own also need to educate themselves. We can't have guys like Abu Kanyes are saying, coaching licenses are not important. We need also to improve so that we can have our own front and center. That's what I feel.
Okay, no, Chinga, thank you so much for joining me. I hope you're gonna start joining me more often.
No, definitely will, my brother.
Thank you so much, my brother. Thank you so much, my brother, for joining me, guys. I'm gonna close it there. I'm not gonna be watching the Algeria game. Look, it was a slow game. It was a game where a bit of quality was missing. Two teams that had a plan going into this and couldn't adapt to what was happening on the pitch. There was a lack of quality in final passes and some of the decision making, but that has been the story of the AFCON so far. And you hope that the quality can increase as we go along. I'm not going to belabor the point too much. You guys have been listening to me all day long. Thank you for joining me. If you have not, if you have not followed, please follow. I will be here again for the duration of AFCON. If not a Bafana game, we're going to be here at 7 o'clock. I'm going to try to diversify the topics while we're watching as well, so we can speak about different things during the matches as well. So that's what we're going to head on to. Let me see the comments. Telefang says, now I've got a good feeling for us in AFCON this year. Telefang says, apparently, Nale and I were crying about De Bruyne. What was I crying about De Bruyne? No, all I was saying was that, guys, you see quality. And, it's a long thing. Hey, wait the Telefang. You know, people always take it the wrong way, but it's fine. Tabaleng says the quality is there, it's just that it doesn't click. OT, to move from high Percy football to slow Percy football is really difficult in a few days. And that's why, Lodwick, I'm saying, why do you have to go to slow Percy football? What is the need for us to try and instill a new style of play at national team level? You know what I mean? Why not just look at the team and go, all right, guys, you guys are good at this, you're good at that, you're good at that, you're good at that. Let's craft a starting lineup, a tactic, a way to play that suits the players. Not this thing, Yoguti, I must go from Rulani Paul to going to go play Bruce Paul, to going to go play Aketse Binteki Paul. Then the next week I'm playing Sid Ramovic Paul. Then the next week I'm playing Romanian football. All these things are also part and parcel of this. And I think the problem is that we've started thinking about national teams as clubs. I think that's where the issue comes from. We started looking at these teams and saying, no, you must build. And you need to have a team for 3 years and 7 years. And you have to, the guys, pick the best players, figure out how to put them into a good lineup and play. That Cameroon that was today, maybe it works with Abu Bakr on the pitch. But if Abu Bakr is not on the pitch, change something. You can't keep crossing. Guys, overload the wing. Ne? There's 4 players overloading the wings, right? Then you cross to 2 players who's facing a low block with 5 guys. Those players are going to have to do so much more in order to score a goal. Then you carry on doing it. Guinea, you've seen that your breakaways, you've had 3 or 4 breakaways where you can run out and exploit spaces. Make a shorter pass first, then go straight through, instead of trying to play a Hollywood pass all the way through where the ball goes out. I think my worry about the AFCON is not necessarily about the tactics and all of that stuff. My worry is that we're watching players who are meant to be playing in some of the best leagues, who are meant to be playing in Europe where everybody wants to go, can't even make the proper pass. Just a pass from A to B. Can't even make the proper decision. You get into the box. What I loved about Usario Mane today is that he showed you what quality looks like. Trap the ball, lay it off, guy scores. We're done. How many of those chances have we been watching where the person tries to do another step over and go that way, the other person tries to go that way, and you're like, guys, just keep it simple. And if players of that caliber, quote unquote, and players that play at that level, quote unquote, can't do a basic 5-meter pass, guys, a basic 5-meter pass, why must I get excited? And like everybody's been saying, my expectations for Bafana Bafana have now gone up because I've been watching Bafana Bafana and I've been judging them. And everyone is playing like this. When Osimhen, when Mohamed Salah, everyone is playing like this. Guys, I'm sorry. I am sorry. But it's fine. Anyway, guys, thank you so much. I'll see you guys then tomorrow for our match. 10 p.m. We're going to be here watching it. Bafana Bafana is going to be playing that first match. Mali. Let's see how they play. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Thank you for the commenters. Thank you for the gifts. Thank you for the people who've joined me on YouTube as well. And on Instagram. Thank you for coming in. But I'll see you guys then tomorrow, 10 p.m. Hopefully, man. Hopefully, Bruce we don't have to fetch calculators anytime soon. So I'll check you guys. I'll check you guys. Sharp.